Humble. I saw humble. Wow, look at the mental image.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow.
Huge.
Govinda, Govinda, Govinda.
Govinda, Govinda. Govinda. Wow. Directly from Mauritius.
Oh, they do like Thailand. They put a banana and stick like that. Wow. I think the Thailand too from Vedic.
Yeah, they use bananas, coconuts, things like that.
The thing is, so you can hear me now, right?
Yes, perfectly
wrong?
well.
Okay, I won't be able
Yeah.
to go outside, or I am outside, but I can't go further than here. Otherwise, I'll lose the Wi-Fi. But this, as you can see, is quite a grand temple here in Mauritius. And yesterday they had 600 people for the Govardhan Puja. So I'm just giving you a glimpse, and very Indian. And because we're here, we're happy to share. And I'll go inside then and give a little chat with you upstairs. But I'm turning down the sound so I don't disturb the reading just now. Paramananda Prabhu's reading. Govinda, Govinda. So this is from upstairs. As you can see, the veranda, the rooms on the side, and the temple downstairs. Okay, so the sound is up. I can hear you, and I'm going to turn over to the computer. Join on the computer just now. Dear devotees, please confirm you can hear me okay?
Yes, Gurudev, we can hear you perfectly well. Hare Krishna.
Okay, perfect. So dear devotees, let us begin with Vandeham as we do, and then we'll catch up with each other just in a moment or two. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parikamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajantam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitam Cham Om Jnanatimirandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Gurvavista Supurakam Guru Ganaira Shisha Shambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Pantanugam Govinda Bidham Ujvalam Varatanam Bhakyanvitam Sundaram Vande Vishwa Gurum Chadivya Bhagavat Preno Hi Bija Pradam Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema
Recording in progress.
Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Tujay Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. All right, so dear devotees, we've all been in Govardhan consciousness, no doubt. So no doubt we've all been in Govardhan consciousness these last few days. And now we are going to be in more Krishna consciousness. We're back to the basics. So please excuse a little of an unusual beginning for the day, but where we are, which is Mauritius, then we are at a time which is just after the Mangalarti, just after the bhajans. It's actually 6 a.m. And sweet devotees of the world, I know you all like getting up early in the morning. Just to let you know that here 4:30 is the time for Mangalarti. So we're waking up at 3:15, waking, bathing, chanting Hare Krishna, chanting our Gayatri, and then 4:30 begins the program. So then 6 o'clock, they're starting the reading, as you just saw. So we handed over the reading to Paramananda Prabhu, who's come from Thailand, along with 6 others. We're a total of 8. We've come here to Mauritius by the affectionate, insistent invitation of the devotees here. And I do try to tell everybody, I am not traveling, so please leave me peacefully. But the devotees don't seem to understand my English for some reason. Anyway, here we are, we're in Mauritius, and I don't know whether you've seen anything, because actually in Mauritius, I can't at least post to Facebook or Instagram. It's been blocked, apparently, because of the elections. Because of elections, taking place here. So we're happy not to have Facebook and Instagram, maybe. But I don't know how much you've seen, but really beautiful programs, and the devotees are very affectionate. And I can just share a little bit, because we've heard about the Mauritius mood, the devotees' mood in Mauritius. We've heard about this directly from Srila Gurudev himself. And when we've now come here after all these years for the first time, really we can see what Srila Gurudev appreciated in the general mood of the people of Mauritius. And then, of course, that specific extra mood of the devotees here. So it's back to basics. I know it's not a Mauritius review, but it was really sweet that we came on Air Mauritius, or Mauritius Air, I think it's Air Mauritius. Anyway, the Mauritian airline. And the staff on the aeroplane were just like devotees in the way they looked after the passengers on the plane, and very kind of genuinely personal. And we had men in our section who were looking after us, which is also good. And they were just like the devotees that we know, in their kind of quiet mood of asking, and then we're just traveling normally, but still coming to the passengers and checking and asking. We are vegetarians, so they gave us a little extra attention, I suppose. But the mood, even before we arrived at the airport, was very gentle. And then, as it turned out, it was the day of Deepavali or Diwali when we arrived in Mauritius. and the staff at the airport were all very kind and happy, and we also saying to them, you know, happy Diwali, etc. So anyway, the general nature of the people of the country is very sweet. And just as another mini summary, we've been here 2 full days, I think, and we've done Harinam Sankirtan on both the days out in the street. And we've had like the full programs, morning program, evening program, and yesterday was the Govardhan Puja. And on the Govardhan Puja, really it was a very beautiful day. And the devotees are doing their best, as we're all trying to do our best, to follow Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math of Navadip. And those of you who've been in programs with me know that we try to keep the bhajans, the kirtans, when we're seated. So after the arati, everyone's sitting, whether it's the morning or the evening. I'm always almost pulling teeth a little bit, trying to get devotees to follow one song to another song and not stop for a 15-minute break to try to decide which song, which page, and everything like this. But to flow the kirtans together. And Keshwananda Prabhu is a master of this. He's my friend in the attempt to have the devotees flow in kirtan. But yesterday, beautiful program, and I have to say, my heart, which is stone-hearted, was softened to see the program and to be in the program. And so many of the public, they know the words, so I don't know how public they all are. You know, we had 600 people came, and some are coming and going, but there were 600 people, how you know, by the plates of prasadam that are distributed. And I didn't say it, but I thought we should have a competition for singing, because we were on the stage in the middle, and on the right, they were louder than on the left. And I was going to try to say, well, on the left, you now need to sing louder. But on the right, they were very loud. And so, but they sang the kirtans continuously, flowing one to another, and modern technology with large TV screens or monitors, not televisions, they're monitors. Then with one devotee, they're coordinating so everyone can see big and clear the words for the songs without having to look what page, etc. So this was very practical use. And they had 3 big monitors, so that everyone, wherever you're sitting, could easily see the words, and the words with the translations. So I just want, just sharing some of the things which struck us yesterday, and the gentle efficiency of transforming a very clean but bare Nat Mandir, the hall in front of the deity, where we were just now, where I began the Zoom, transforming that from being clean and bare to being decorated and very appropriate for the occasion. And the devotees just seem to know what to do. I don't know if they'd had a meeting before so that everyone knew what was to be done, but I saw also devotees doing one devotee doing different things, like standing in for somebody else, or this needs to be done, so they're doing it. And in a busy but unpassionate way, busy devotional way, then the temple, bit by bit, was transformed with all the leaves, the lights, the decorations, the peacock with the long tails made with the tails made with leaves from the trees, the branches as well from the trees. And anyway, very nicely done. And Govardhan Hill, somebody's made like a representation with a little waterfall at the front. And then they did also very soberly, they did the Govardhan Abhishek yesterday of Giriraj Sheela here. So here we are in Mauritius, and we are in Mauritius, and you can, I'm assuming you can hear me. If somebody says something, please say something.
Say something, Hare Krishna.
Okay, I've got it. Okay, so I can hear you because I switched to the computer. All right, so anyway, devotees, happily we've all been in and maybe still are in like a little bit of Govardhan consciousness. And Govardhan Hill is such a wonderful place. We can feel it when we visit Govardhan Hill. We can feel it in the worship around the world of the Giriraj Shila, the Giriraj stone, the worship that we are doing around the world. And we can feel it especially through the description and the words of the devotees, of Gurudev, Guru Marshal Prabhupada, of Raghunath Das Goswami, who gave us these this Dashakam, these 10 prayers, praying for a dwelling near Govardhan, so that we'll be able to be engaged, to be able to see and be part of this Leela of Govardhan Hill. So I'm preaching to the choir. You already know about the affectionate shelter of Govardhan. But it's not only knowing it, it's actually trying to do something. Always our connection is with Seva, and trying to do something in the line of our masters, in Seva to Govardhan. And we are very happy to be wherever that is taking place. And we know in Thailand, at the Govinda farm, that the new Giriraj, he's very old, he's the most ancient of the ancient, but Giriraj, who's in Thailand, who's newly in Thailand, he got his first royal treatment there, and confirming his base camp, that he will now be in Thailand. Originally we were thinking he was on his way to Latvia, but Giriraj had other plans. But we know that Giriraj will still grace Latvia in due course of time. So let me just see. Oh, Radha Sundari, she's with us. Sara Shiromani, we're very happy your sister has decided she will come from Thailand to Italy to be with the devotees in Italy. They're very happy for that. Jacob is with us, welcome back. And Savitri Devi Rasi there in Switzerland. And I think Nadia Sundari is in Switzerland somewhere too, though she's not with us just now on the Zoom. And Rupa Nuga Prabhu is somewhere extraordinary. China. Are you in China? No. Yes, in China. Hare Krishna. And Joshua. Hare Krishna.
Dandavad, Madhusudhan Maharaj.
Dandavat. You're a familiar face. Do you have a devotee name?
No, I do not have a devotee named Madhusudhan Maharaj. It's yet.
Yet. Okay, but you're on the way. Okay, beautiful.
I'm
Happy
the
to
way.
have you
Yeah.
on the way.
Greetings for all the devotees here present. Sending my most sincere obeisances to you all.
And I'm sure that each of the devotees present are sending you their good wishes for your journey. In fact, when we come together with devotees, it's like a team. You sound like you're from South America. South America likes football, right? Football is a team activity. And so here we are, we're on the team where everyone comes to help each other. Actually, our Guru Marshal Bhakti-Rakok Sridhar Maharaj, Sridhar Maharaj, he said that in Goloka Vrindavan, where Krishna is, then everybody is mad to help each other. They just want to help each other. The opposite of this world, where all the competition to get a job, get the business, do this, do that. The opposite of being mad for one's own establishing, but being mad to help others. So here's a team helping each other. Hare Krishna. And Mayeshwari Devi Rasi with us. Shileka Devi Rasi with us. Seva Rupa Didi, I hear you're being very busy. I don't know if we have to consult. This time next week, when we meet next Sunday's Zoom, we do expect, if the Lord is gracious, that we will be in South Africa with Seva Rupa and the devotees there. But the next Zoom on Thursday will still be here in Mauritius. We have a week full of activities, and I don't know what all the activities are, but the devotees are keeping us busy with a schedule or schedule. Those who are American, those who are Canadian, it's schedule. Not to get contaminated by American pronunciation. Hare Krishna. Okay, anyway, dear devotees, we're here together with Dana, also Muktinath, with Ganga Leela Didi, with much appreciation, Radha Sundari, and Priya Sundari, Devidasi, and B. R. Madhusudan. Not sure who that is. So if I missed anybody out, please excuse. But we are here together, and our senior most devotee here is Sri Lekha Devi Dasi, and we're always keen to hear from her. She's in Salt Lake City, renamed maybe 3 years ago as Sweet Lake City by our dear Italian Munindra Mohan Prabhu. And why? Because the devotees that come from there, we see they're all tinged with sweetness. So Sweet Lake City. Sri Lekha Devi Dasi, some back to basics, inspiration for us all. The team, we are the team to help each other.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat all the devotees. Josue is actually staying with us now in the temple, Maharaj.
Who?
Josue from Ecuador. You were just talking to him.
Oh, yes, Italian, sorry, Spanish. J is a H. Yeah, Jose,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, he's
Jose.
very good. He's only been staying with us a couple of weeks, but he's super enthusiastic, very nice devotee. We're excited for him and for us that he's here. Maharaj, do you think I could ask for a question? What shall I talk about?
Well, I can give an answer to a question that came up, and it made, actually, it's not a trick question, but we did discuss this question, and the question was, should I ask you a question? Because you asked a question. The question is, the Annakut festival, the festival which is celebrated yesterday, or today in America, because it's still yesterday, in that remote corner of the world. But okay, so the festival which is held for the Govardhan Puja, is this day, okay, so this is the question, and I do know the answer because we did research it. Is this day after the lifting of Govardhan Hill and Krishna's put the hill back and then all the festival, the bathing and so many things taking place then, or is it before the lifting of the Govardhan Hill? When Nanda Maharaj said, oh, we're going to worship Indra, a naughty, or not naughty, wonderful, sweet Krishna, little Krishna said, oh, but Papa, why you worship the hill? Why you worship Indra? Worship Govardhan Hill. Okay, so the Govardhan Puja day is before or after the lifting of the hill? This is the question.
Before.
Okay, well done. It is true. We researched it because actually it felt like it was after.
Because Indra's offering prayers and so many.
Yeah, right, and the bathing, Airavata bathing like that. And actually, even in our senior devotee section, the first answer was, oh, after. It's when the hill is put down. But it got me thinking, and then we did actually research and look up, and then we find, no, it is, this festival is actually before Krishna picked up the hill to protect the inhabitants of Vrindavan. And then with that like research, as it were, then we got to read so many beautiful things. And of course, we got lost. We got lost in Govardhan Hill. But Maya can always attract us from everywhere. So we get back to the material world.
Yes, because Krishna saw that Nanda Maharaj is preparing a sacrifice. And he's only ostensibly 5 or 7 years old, 5, some say 5. And he asking, why are you doing this? Is this a popular ceremony? Is this a tradition? Or is this something in the Veda that we're supposed to do? And Nanda Maharaj said, oh, this is a traditional festival, but, everyone must be grateful. And Indra's sending rain all the time to grow the grass for the cows. And of course, then the cows are giving milk, and this is our way of life. And so we have to do something. And this is, Indra's expecting this. And we must, perform this sacrifice. And then, of course, Krishna says, nah, just forget Indra. What do we need Indra for? The rain is falling on the mountains. The mountains are not performing any sacrifice. And the rain is falling on the ocean, and the ocean's not performing. He's kind of giving a sort of atheistic answer. And then, so let's just forget Indra. We'll just give all this, to worship Govardhan Hill. Govardhan Hill is our hill. This is our village. We love this jungle. We love this village. We love Govardhan Hill. We love the cows. We love the Brahmins. So decorate the cows and feed them, make them very happy, and keeping the Brahmins who are chanting the Vedic hymns and the cows in front. We'll just circumambulate Govardhan Hill, prepared many, many preparations, and offer them to Govardhan Hill. And then as they're all circumambulating, the Lord takes this huge form on top. Back in those days, Govardhan Hill was 16 miles high. 16 miles. It's a huge mountain. And all their pastimes went on in Govardhan Hill. And of course, this is Vrindavan. This is the highest plane of pure devotional, pastimes with the Lord. And forget Indra. Who cares about Indra? And they couldn't resist Krishna. Some of them thought, well, he's not an ordinary boy. He might have something. He might know something. And others said, well, anyway, even if he isn't, we can't resist him. Whatever he wants, we have to do it. But then, of course, Indra wasn't happy with that. And then the rain came. And Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill.
Hare Krishna. And on the plane coming here, then I was thinking the plane is flying at 30,000 feet, approximately. Mount Everest is 29,000 and something feet. So the good news, it wouldn't have crashed into the top. But the mountain of Mount Everest is as high practically as the airplane is flying. Yet Govardhan is considered the king of all mountains. And we have seen Everest, and we have seen many Annapurna and many big, big mountains in the Himalayas and the Himalayan range. But yet Govardhan is considered the king of mountains. Giri Raj, mountain king, Govardhan. So this is also something which is inconceivable to us. And then now you are saying that our aeroplane could have crashed into Govardhan because it was 16 miles high. So all these things, they take us out of like finite consciousness, and we have to be accommodative of things that we can't see, but we know are real because we're getting the description from the scriptures and from the sadhus, those who have revealed truth in their heart. These were some reflections while we were flying. I was thinking, Everest is as high as we are, and we seem like so high looking down on the ground. But Govardhan is the king of all mountains. How can this be? So always we got to use this Anjana, the ointment to clean our eyes from our material conceptions. Not only we're not the body, But what we see is not what we see. There's always something behind. And in the spiritual context, what is in Vrindavan, what is in Navadi, what is in Purushottam Dham, Puri Dham, we get descriptions in the scripture. And somehow we have to just be open and prepared to leave all of our limited conceptions and dive deep into reality, the beautiful. Hare Krishna.
There's another story, Maharaj, about how Govardhan came to Vrindavan, because he didn't used to live there. At some, in this Brahmanda and at a certain time. So that's also a very sweet story.
What was the name of the Muni who is said to have brought him?
I can't remember. It's Satyavratana, it's not really. I think I'm making this up in my mind. I was trying to remember it earlier and then I forgot to find out. I can't remember that Muni's name, but he got tricked.
Perhaps your heart son can fill us in, Keshavananda, who always calls you Mata. So he must be your son. Maybe Keshavananda remembers who it was that was who begged for Govardhan Hill and who brought Govardhan Hill as far as Mathura Mando, Braja.
I think it was called Pulastya or something like that. Pulastya Muni. It's from you know where it's from. The anyway, this book that I now can't remember the name of. Yeah, I think so.
Srileka, would you like to say that story?
Oh, sure, Maharaj. I'm trying to find the name of him also, but I don't. But I think you're right. I think it is that Keshava Prabhu. But
Samhita.
Garga Samhita, right? And correct me if I'm making any mistakes. I've only heard. I never really read this story, but because I actually never read Garga Samhita. But so, I mean, Govardhan is the child of his parents, his mother and his father. They're both mountains. And of course, in the conscious world, this is not at all astonishing. There is no such thing as unconsciousness, really. That's simply a mental idea, and the mind is always misunderstanding everything. But so the mother and father of Govardhan, they were there, and then this Muni came along, and he was so charmed when he saw Govardhan Hill. Govardhan, he's just so beautiful, inconceivably beautiful. And he said, "Oh, I think he lived in Kashi. Am I right? Am I right, Keshava, that he lived in Kashi?" And he said, "There's no mountain for me to sit on and do my meditation. So I would like to beg from you, your son." And of course, the mother and father were, I mean, Govardhan is so loved even by the personality of Godhead, by the Lord, all the devotees. They can't live without Govardhan. This is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is also saying. Without these things, I'll surely die. I cannot live without that. And so they were heartbroken, but Govardhan, he was thinking, oh no, if they refuse, then this Muni will give trouble to my parents. So he said, yes, I'll go with you, But on one condition, that if you ever put me down for any reason, then you won't be able to pick me up again. So by the influence of Govardhan himself, the Muni was able to bring Govardhan with him. Otherwise, he would have been able to pick him up if it was his own power. But it was actually the power of Govardhan that he was able to carry, ostensibly carry this mountain. It's not like Krishna, who can actually pick up the mountain. But it was Govardhan's influence that he went along with him. And then they're going along. And then they come to Mathura Mandal, as Maharaj said. where Krishna will, where eternally. Vrindavan is there, sometimes manifest, sometimes unmanifest. But Govardhan knows, oh, soon the Lord will have his pastimes here. I want to stay here. So suddenly the Muni had to answer the call of nature, which means he had to, go to the bathroom is what we say. Go to the, and Munis are pretty good at controlling their senses and all that, but this was not controllable. So without thinking, he just put down the hill and ran into the jungle. And when he came back, he couldn't lift Govardhan Hill again. He couldn't lift him. And he was very angry. He said, I know you did this. You made this happen. And I'm very angry with you. So I curse you that you will sink by one mustard seed every day. And so I don't know how long ago that was, but of course, Govardhan Hill, to our senses or whatever, this plane of it, we cannot see that it is so high, and he will disappear. And I heard Srila Gurudev say, when Govardhan disappears, and when the Jamuna and the Ganga disappear, then Kali Yuga will really start. That will be, you don't want to be around when that happens. And so
In
Govardhan,
full force, yeah. Already started, but there will get the full Kali Yuga. And Gurudev said on that day, he said, I have seen the Jamuna when I was young. And now I saw the Jamuna little, I won't exactly give you his description, but a small, a small stream practically. And in the dry season, it is like that. And then we think that this prediction, which at that time, nobody could think that Jamuna could dry up. But now we can see it is quite possible that Jamuna can dry up. Don't hang around in Kali Yuga, dear devotees. Don't wait to see. Are these predictions true? Let's just test it and see. I'll stay around and send my report. Well, it's not a good idea. But now we can worship the Lord, we can worship Govardhan Hill, and now we've been given those almost free tickets to come home, back to our home of Goloka Vrindavan, the land of joy, beauty, all these things by the grace of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu, he had a Govardhan Shila. He was given a Govardhan Shila. He worshipped that Govardhan Shila. And he gave that Govardhan Shila to Raghunath Das Goswami. And then those 10 prayers that we've been reading, I think they're page 32 of the songbook, perhaps, the 10th edition, the latest edition of the songbook. Those prayers, they were the dearmost prayers to Govardhan of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And whenever we read them, and of course we read yesterday, we read the day before also, and we're happy to read, day by day, to understand what is Govardhan. And by the way, all of our temples means in Vrindavan, in Navadip, and in Puri, the 3 principal places of pilgrimage, they are all situated at Govardhan Hill, because the Govardhan is in all of these dhams. Vrindavan is in these dhams, and in Navadip, Gupta Govardhan, in Puri, Gupta Govardhan, Chatak Parvat, and in Vrindavan, Govardhan, manifested Govardhan. So our home is very connected. Our home, our family home of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, very connected with Govardhan. And I can just say one thing, that Srila Gurudev was always happy on Govardhan Puja. We've been with him in Navadip year by year. Also, I don't specifically remember actually Calcutta. Usually we'd be in Navadip because of Srila Guru Maharaj's Vyasa Puja, which was just before that, and we would be in Navadip. And then, yes, Govardhan Puja in Govardhan. We've been there met very memorably on different occasions with Srila Gurudev in Govardhan, both before the land, we got the land, and after the land on different occasions as well. And Gurudev always happy, everything Govardhan related. Gurudev was very pleased and happy. And when the land, that property came in Govardhan, Srila Gurudev said, this is the exact description of what Srila Guru Maharaj gave as will be our place in Govardhan. Near to the Parikrama path, near to the Govardhan hill, but just beside and close to Manasi Ganga, close to Kushum Sarovar. And the devotees, early in the morning, they'll go to Kushum Sarovar, pick flowers, take them to Radha Kund, give them to the gopis, the sakis who are making the preparations and the garlands for the divine couple. Give the flowers to them in service, and then we'll come back to the safety of our retreat, our Govardhan ashram beside Govardhan hill. And Srila Guru Maharaj had given this kind of description, and this exact, you can say, location and the suitable place came into Gurudev's care. And in the beginning, it is just a field. We've seen it as just a field, and we've seen the tractor ploughing the field to clean it from everything that was there, all the brush and stuff. It was, you could say wasteland, but of course it's Govardhan, nothing is waste. And then from there, then the discovery on that property of this large Govardhan Shila, which had been worshipped before with all the signs of worship, and confirmed by the Pandas, the Brahmanas of Govardhan, confirmed this Shila has been worshipped before. Somehow we do not know how, but somehow over the centuries more, then the Shila's been covered over, something has happened. It's all been covered over this area. And so underneath the soil, discovered this Shila, and then with the assistance of the priests there, then Srila Gurudev, he re-established the worship of that Govardhan Shila in Govardhan. Hare Krishna. And if it is all a mystery about Govardhan Hill, then it's a good time to read the Krishna books. And it is safe for us to read the Krishna books. Srila Prabhupada gave those books with a whole ring of safety around so that we don't misunderstand things. So we understand very carefully the exalted and sweet nature of God's home. God in his original form of Krishna, then his whole life is for beauty, sweetness, charm, affection, love, interaction, personal, supreme personality of Godhead with the supreme personalities of devotees. This is a beautiful land. And Srila Prabhupada is protecting us in his presentation of Krishna Leela given in the Krishna books. And he presented this so that we would be able to understand about Govardhan Leela without it coming from scholars, non-devotees, people who make interpretation of this, that, and the other. But just like Bhagavad Gita as it is, it's Krishna Leela as it is. And especially at times like this of Govardhan Leela, it is a very good time for us to maybe resolve to again read the Krishna books. They're not for reading just once, as Gurudev said about the books of Guru Maharaj and his own books. He said, these books are not for reading just once. They are our continuous nourishment. Breakfast is not for having just once. Lunch is not for having just once. Dinner is not for having just once. You might have noticed this reality in your own experience of life. Yes, once upon a time I had breakfast. Oh, I don't take breakfast anymore. Yes, Once upon a time I had lunch. Oh, I don't take lunch anymore. Keshavananda Prabhu, Leelamoy Prabhu, Ramasundar Prabhu, Jai Gauranga Prabhu. We left them all behind in Thailand to worship the Lord.
Haley.
And
Haley.
Okay, Haley. Very
Sweet
good.
Lake City.
Sweet
And
Lake
Krishna
City
Priya
representative, still there for another 3 or 4 days before going over to Italy, Vila Govinda Ashram. We're very happy for you and for the devotees in the ashram that you'll be part of their team. And you'll find it very similar to the Thai team. You'll feel at home, I'm sure. Keshwanandaru, would you like to share something from the heart?
Yes, and Krishna Priya Didi is here, and it's very funny this morning because it's 27 degrees Celsius here. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's the 70s. It's very pleasant weather. But Krishna Priya's got a blanket on, a sweat on. She looks like a bridge bassie come, December, bundled up, saying, "It's so cold." So she's been making us laugh this morning. And
Hi,
we were
Krishna
just
Priya
giving...
Devidasi. Of course, I mentioned you all who we could see on the camera, but we couldn't see Krishna Priya. She's hiding behind you. Okay.
Oh, no, she's taking that blanket off.
And we are in the same temperature. We're around 25, 27 degrees here on our 50-kilometer by 50-kilometer island in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Well done to the pilot. He found it in the ocean.
And
Yes, Keshwananda Prabhu.
and we were giving Jai Maharaj to your comments about we don't have breakfast once, you don't have lunch. It's a very nice, analogy that we need nourishment continually, otherwise we die, basically. If you don't have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, eventually you're going to die. So similarly, if you don't have the nourishment of Krishna Katha, Krishna discussions and hearing, then you'll be swept away by other things. And I need to go to Krishna book, certainly, because I was all upside down, back to front in my understanding of Govardhan Leela, but that's okay, can read again as to the order, the way things were happening. And I've read bits of Garga Samhita. I haven't read the whole text, but I always think of it very fondly because Kishori Didi took a picture. It's on the wall in Sri Lake City. Sweet Lake City. That's a good one. Sri Lake City. Sweet Lake City, also known as Sri Lake City, of Gurudev. And he's bathed in beautiful morning light, sunlight in Puri Dham. And he's sitting on a chair and he's got in his hand that Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda
Srila
Maharaj.
Gurudev. Okay, beautiful. Yes.
He's sitting in a chair in Puri. It's morning light, so it's just radiant and beautiful. And he's got an early edition of the pink colored Garga Samhita that Saga Maharaj produced in Bengali. And he was very happily going to that throughout that visit to Puri and reading that and remembering things. And he has that book in his hand. So we do have that in the mat, you can say, but only in its only in Bengali language, not in English language. And so many of these wonderful pastimes coming from that scripture that we were hearing. And another thing that touched me the most yesterday, well, different things really. Gurudev, Kelly Kadambanana Didi was reading something from maybe Prema Dharma website or somewhere. It's Gurudev speaking, or perhaps Guru Maharaj, I can't remember. Well, Gurudev. When he's saying that Srila Guru Maharaj had said, yes, you can make a temple. Govardhan is very suitable for us. This is a place you can make a temple in Govardhan. And then just kind of matter-of-factly, or in his world, in his plane of being, it's matter-of-factly, and he's saying, and we will stay, the devotees will stay in Govardhan, and then we will go in the morning to Kusham Sarovar and collect flowers, and then go to Radhakund to serve, and then again come home to Govardhan. He's saying those inconceivable things in a sort of it's kind of matter-of-fact way that this is how it will be like this. So we heard that, and then we heard during that, I mean, for me, I thought it was the perfect thing, even though I've got the order mixed up, was the fact that when after the oh no, I'm good. Anukut. Oh no, I'm still not good as before. So when Indra, sorry, I am confused. So when Indra comes and does the big Abhishek, that's before?
No, that's
No,
after.
that's afterwards, Prabhu, for sure.
Okay, so I'm good. Yeah, I thought it was after, but the Anukut was before. Okay, very good. So I was not quite as confused as I thought I was. So he'd come to, in his humility after being, kind of really how to say politely, but he'd been put in his place by this talkative boy with the power of persuasion, and so he came with pomp and majesty. All the demigods came. They brought their mothers with them. They Airavat, the elephant, came with trunks full of celestial Ganga. Shisurabi came with unlimited divine milk, and with great, as befits Indra, this great Abhishek and great worship of Lord Krishna occurred. And Indra, which means king, saying, actually, you are the king of Vrindavan, you are the Indra, and putting a crown on his head, and all this majesty went on. And then they leave, all the demigods leave with their mums to go back to their places, to their planets and planes of service. And then the boys are wandering along, and the cowherd boys are wandering along, and they find all this stuff lying around, all these chamaras and fancy, could be one. We've got quite a fancy chamara here, actually, came from that's been utilized in worship of the deities, the picture of our deities in Navadvip and Giriraj. So fancy, all these wonderful. The demigods brought this paraphernalia, so it's and they find all these things, and then in a very playful way, they're blowing conch shells and they're waving chamaras at Krishna, and doing their own playful, heartfelt, loving games of worshiping Krishna with all these things. And then the demigods, who are still within divine earshot of this worship, their hearts are melting and heartbroken and feeling ashamed and feeling, oh, if only we could give this kind of love and affectionate homage to Krishna, to the Lord. It was very, very heart capturing, actually. This showing that sweet land of affectionate dealings and village life. And in fact, we heard, I think perhaps Guru Maharaj asking devotees what they liked about Krishna consciousness, and many answers were coming. And one lady said, what does she like about Krishna consciousness? Oh, the prospect of a family life with Krishna, something like this. Very sweet words, and Guru Maharaj being appreciative of that simple, heartfelt the real nourishment is and the food of the heart. So we heard so many wonderful things, and already, even though it's not yet, but we were remembering this morning, it's only 2 or 3 more days before it's the divine festival of the disappearance of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. So, you know, every morning we're reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. That was one of his many gifts to the world. And we recently had Hasa Priya Prabhu here, and who was in LA during the marathon publication of those volumes of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we heard some stories for him. I always love to hear the devotees talking about that time specifically when the Chaitanya Charitamrita came out, and Krishna book, as Maharaj mentioned, when Srila Prabhupada didn't even know whether he would be, you know, as he's translating the Bhagavatam, he didn't know whether he'd live long enough to get to the 10th canto. So he presented it in a very carefully safe and wonderful form before we actually got there in the translation, so the devotees could hear the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan and Govardhan Hill and so many wonderful things. So I think it's the 5th, perhaps, is his birthday, but already we're our eyes are turning in that direction, turning it to his lotus feet, because every day we're I think Srila Gurudev said, wherever we go, whatever we do, we are always taking the remnants of Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. So more wondrous, a wondrous ocean, a chamatkar ocean of nectarian delight, lila, to be churned on the coming days, remembering Srila Prabhupada specifically, and trying to glorify him. But really, this little pastime with the cowherd boys is trumping all the and glorious pomp and circumstance of the demigods. It was so very sweet. So we're remembering Govardhan very happily, and we have to remember Uma Didi very happily when we think of Govardhan. She's our stalwart gardener. She says, I'm just the gardener, but when you go there, the garden always looking very beautiful. The grass is green, the trees are growing. She's poured her life's blood onto the fields of the garden of Govardhan for Gurudev. So we're always remembering the devotees who are serving in these places, and happy day, very happy day. Happy day. But we're missing our photographers because Kamala Didi's gone to Mauritius, and Priyanana's gone in Mauritius, and they were the ones with the phones out and the stream and this and that. But we had a few pictures from yesterday, but many things we didn't capture. Giriraj looking so gorgeous in his covered in his bathing, you know, his yogurt and milk and honey and all these things, looking very happily, we hope happily, accepting that our attempt to give some affection in worship.
We can also remember that Srila Prabhupada, his last wish was to do parikrama of Govardhan Hill. And he did pass on. I mean, I know today is not his passing away day, but we are thinking of Govardhan Hill. And again, how intrinsic is Govardhan Hill within the family of which we are. It's Govardhan Hill, Radha Krishna's sweet pastimes, and as Gurudev repeatedly said, we are taking the affectionate shelter of Govardhan Hill. And it was Srila Prabhupada's last wish, and we've heard this directly from the devotees with him, and we feel blessed to have had the association of devotees who were with him at that time of his disappearance. And Josue, I please excuse me if I pronounce the name wrong, but Josue, I see a raised hand. Do you have a question?
Yes, I do have a question, Maharaj, and you did pronounce my name properly.
Okay, first of all, I'll keep practicing.
No, you already got it, Maharaj. Hello again to all the devotees that are present. I feel very happy and very excited to share my thoughts and also all my gratitude to all your association. Thank you because you have shared with me a very beautiful perspective about life. You're teaching me how to live life. And thank you for that. In the morning, listening to Sri Leka, all the stories about Govardhan Puja, and also listening to you, dear devotees, I understand what conclusion this pastime of Krishna is giving us, that whatever happens in our environment, as long as we're taking shelter with the Lord, nothing is going to happen to us. And it's actually going to be a feast, a festival, as long as we're taking shelter in the Lord. But that happens in Vrindavan. That is happening when there's pure devotion. But what about now that this is everything but Vrindavan? To truly, what I have understood from all of your association, dear devotees, is that, and I wrote this down because it's a question that I had all the entire day. To truly follow the path of pure devotion to the Lord, we need to rise above the desires of the false ego, which pushes us to control everything around us for our own benefit. Instead, our ideal is to live in harmony with our surroundings, performing our duties without attachment to the outcome. But let's be real, most of us are far from this ideal. We struggle because we don't yet feel deep love for the Lord, which makes it hard to move forward in Krishna consciousness. So the question, Madhusudana Maharaj, and for any devotee that would like to answer this, is how can we make progress in Krishna consciousness even when our hearts are not yet filled with love and devotion for the Lord?
Also a very good question, and there is some good news. Don't worry, just keep the association of the good devotees, those who your heart can resonate with. Keep their association, and association means to hear from them, to inquire from them, but to serve them also. That, as you said, we have gratitude for all of the devotees. And gratitude means we understand that we need to have the association of sincere seekers. And so we'll come to them with our sincere offer of seva. And in this way, we will find, by the grace of the Lord, that all these like material things, you say, oh, but now we have so many desires and the mind keeps telling us this, that, and the other. Those things will by themselves drop away. Means we do have to be conscious about them, not to let them come in through an open gate. In the garden, you should keep the gate closed so that the goats and sheep don't come in and eat all your vegetables. But if we take normal precaution, we will find that Krishna consciousness will automatically replace mundane consciousness. To the extent that Rupa Goswami, he says that when I think about mundane enjoyment, I want to spit. It's this kind of feeling that when you go somewhere very dirty and you feel, oh, that something very dirty is coming, you want to kind of clean out yourself. So we may be far from that now, but we are going in the right direction. And the right direction is devotion, bhakti yoga. And this is based on the chanting of the Lord's holy name with affection, and serving the Lord through his devotees with affection. And then bit by bit, we may not notice it on a daily basis, but like a child growing up, you look back 1 year and you can see, oh, I'm different. A 3-year-old to a 4-year-old, well, we can maybe make jumps of 2 years. A 3-year-old to a 5-year-old is a big difference. 5-year-old to a 7-year-old is a difference. But day by day, you may not notice anything, with children. But similarly, our devotional life, we are going somewhere. So day by day, we may think, oh, I'm the same as yesterday. I'm not spiritual, even though I've been chanting Hare Krishna. But if we do our daily nourishment, as we say, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, if we can actually nicely lead a life the way that our pure guardians have guided us, we will find when we look back, yes, I have to admit that some difference, some growing up is happening. And gradually, we hope we will recognize that the desires that me, myself, I desires, they're slipping away, and we will happily accept whatever's happening. But rather, our consciousness will be for dedication, chanting the holy name of the Lord, for serving the Lord, and gradually getting a taste for the regular programs of chanting, of worship, of reading, of offering food, of association. And lots more can be said, and that can be continued another time. And Sri Lanka, you're in some good association. I've known her to be able to talk to devotees in a very convincing way, and for more than 5 minutes also. A few more minutes than 5 minutes, we've known Sri Lanka engaged in enthusiastic heart transmission. So you're in a good place. All right, so for today, our time is over. The devotees have given me a full schedule here in Mauritius, and now part of that schedule is continuing, and then we are with devotees. And you saw lots of devotees for Mangalati, and there are lots of devotees here in Mauritius. And by the way, just a little mention, the island is 50 kilometers wide, 50 kilometers tall, which in miles is less than 50. I don't know what it is, 40 miles or something for Americans who don't know what a kilometer is. Okay, anyway, 50 kilometers by 50 kilometers. And yet they have 9 Hare Krishna temples, either ours or ISKCON's. 9 temples in a 50 kilometer by 50 kilometer island, plus so many ashrams and namahattas that they do. So I just thought, if you take 50 kilometers by 50 kilometers and put that in almost any country of the world, you've got a lot of Mauritius islands in every country. So it reminds me of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who was very keen that will open temples, but not only a temple in every town and every street corner, but a temple in every heart. And this was what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was establishing. This is for everyone. It shouldn't be just, oh, we have one center, somewhere which is, hundreds of miles away or something. But so Krishna consciousness is accessible to everyone in whatever way. But again, a beautiful example I saw here, we are seeing here in Mauritius of the Krishna consciousness movement. And the devotees keep reminding me that Srila Prabhupada said that Mauritius could be the first Krishna conscious country in the world. So let's see. They're having elections this week. Let's see if Krishna gets elected. I told the devotees, devotees should apply to be the leader of the country. And by the way, we had one of the ex-prime ministers here yesterday in the gathering. Really, the devotees, they got a very good, very good, I don't want to say class of people, but, very good PR and everything. And everybody, like India, all the ladies nicely dressed, all the men coming very presentable and coming to the temple and participating and happy singing, happy everything, very joyful. And as I mentioned at the very beginning, even my heart was softened to see that kind of gathering. And really, I could feel Srila Gurudev is like smiling and content to see how the devotees are continuing Krishna consciousness quietly. Nobody really knows so much about, the scale and what they do, their regular activities. But we come here and we see and we think, yes, Gurudev must be pleased by this, and a good example for us all. So as we said earlier, we're a team and we're a world team. We can get encouragement from everywhere. We were encouraged in Thailand. We're encouraged in our brief visit to Malaysia. We were forcefully taken by affection to the devotees in Malaysia. And then from Malaysia, as we mentioned earlier, we've been forcefully brought to Mauritius by affection. And we are here, and we can't help but feel that, and feel and know that Gurudev is pleased to see what is taking place. So may the world prosper in Krishna consciousness, and may this counteract all the other nonsense, which if you were to read even the headlines of the news, you would understand the world is crazy. Don't even read the headlines. Somebody else will read the important things and tell you everybody else is reading the news, so they're going to tell you the important things. You don't have to put your head into all of that dirt. We'll keep our head in Krishna Katha, Krishna Kirtan, and what's the third one? Keshwanan, who knows? I saw his lips. Krishna Prasadam. Yes.
Yes, words, of course,
Krishna.
happily.
I hadn't really forgotten, I was just testing. Has anybody forgot about Krishna Prasad? Offer all our food to the Lord. Okay, as I mentioned, we are well over time. And Josue, yes, Josue. Anyway, Josue, happy to have you with us, and happy to know that you're there in Sweet Lake City. And I think you may get infected with sweetness by being there. That's how the city got renamed by Munindra Mohan Prabhu. Okay, all you dear devotees, Maya Shri Dirilo, she's got a big heart. Radha Sundari showing her big heart. Oh, Ganga Leela with her heart. Look, here's Bhimala Krishna who joined us. I missed seeing you when you joined Prabhu. But here we are with Bhimala Krishna Prabhu. And Jacob and the other devotees all been with us from the beginning or very early on. Jai to you all, and of course, Jai to our masters. Jai Om Vishnupad, Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Om Vishnupad, Srila Bhakti Ropak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, and Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai, and Jai to the whole Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga Ki Jai. The present day Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, all the assembled devotees Ki Jai, Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, and Nitai Gora Prema Anande Hari Hari Bol Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo.
Jai Srila Bhakti Rajavan Maharaj Ki Jai.
Super being with you all. See you in 4 days' time. Half a week. Half of 7 equals 4, and the other half is 3 days. So see you in 4 days' time, and we expect to be here in Mauritius, and we're happy to hear from you and to catch up in back to basics. Hare Krishna. All best wishes to everywhere, each country, each devotee. Govardhan.